welcome back to the Hickman channel. We are so glad that you are with us today. Let me just go ahead and give you one of these great Hickman fist pounds.
Oh, boom.
Oh. So the other day I'm shaving. Let me just tell you this quick story if I can. The other day I'm shaving and I'm carelessly shaving the awesomeness, just grooming it up, you know. And I literally shaved my fingernail. Look at that junk. Right. Focus.
Yes.
Anyway, I shaved my fingernail. And so I need to go to the nail parlor. Anyway.
Gonna get a little acrylic.
Anyway, fist pound for being here today. So go ahead and start giving this video a thumbs up, start commenting below, and start telling us what you think church members ought to do on a daily, weekly basis, as we're going to be giving you our thoughts, 8 to be exact, on what we think church members ought to do. Now, these aren't in order, so don't think just because we're going 1 to 8 or 8 to 1 that this is ranked more
importance. No.
Thank you. Anyway,
They're all important.
They're all important, folks. So here we go with number 1. 1 being, be faithful to the services. Okay?
Please.
We think that it's always important for church members to be faithful to the services. Now, some churches, they have services 3 times a week.
Yep.
Some churches have services 4 or 5 times a week.
Yep.
Based on the needs. Some churches are in areas where the population is more dense.
A denser population.
Some churches are in areas where the population is not so dense. And so it's really just according to the needs of the church. But then you've got some churches that only have like 1 service a week, literally. Like they have just Sunday morning, 1 Sunday morning service, sometimes 2 Sunday morning services. Sometimes they have just Sunday services, Sunday morning, Sunday night. But
the list goes on and on.
We could go into all the types of Saturday night service and Sunday morning, 4, 5, 6 Sunday morning services. We can go on and on. But whatever your church does, wherever you're a member at,
Dense or not dense.
dense or not dense, be faithful to the services.
Be faithful. Number 2, take sermon notes. Your pastor has worked countless hours on preparing something he wants you to hear. He wants to speak it into your life. Please show interest. Take notes. Take those notes home with you. You can use it for your devotion the next day. Take notes. Good idea.
Good idea.
Take notes.
Me personally, on one sermon. So, like our church where I pastor, they attend. 1 sermon, I spend about 8 to 10 hours on 1 sermon, preparing 1 sermon. So, I preach, if we have a normal week, I preach on Sunday mornings. Our associate pastor preaches on Sunday nights. So, if he's away, or like before he came and I preached Sunday morning, Sunday night, and Wednesday nights, I was spending 30 hours a week preparing for Sunday morning, Sunday night, and Wednesday night. So I was spending 30 hours a week on sermon prep alone. So I think Miss Hickman's idea of taking sermon notes is a good idea. Because as a pastor, I get often, preacher, I don't know what to study. I don't know where to start in my personal Bible time. Great place to start is just taking sermon notes and going just more in depth on what the preacher preached in the previous week. Good idea.
Thank you.
She must be a pastor's wife. And folks, that leads us to numero tres with the shaven fingernail. Number 3, folks, just bridge right over into personal prayer time. So after you have done your personal devotion time with your sermon notes,
Yes.
the 3rd thing a great church member should do is spend personal time in prayer. Okay? It's great to go to church and be supportive of services. It's great to spend time with church members at church praying, but it does not it does not equal to your personal prayer time with God, okay? Spend time just talking to Jesus. I think about the old hymn writer who said, oh, what needs, or oh, what...
Oh, what pains we often forfeit. Oh, what needless pain we bear, all because we do not carry
everything to God in prayer. Okay.
Struggle bus.
I cannot believe I've forgotten that hymn. Oh.
Peace we often forfeit.
Peace we often forfeit. Oh, what needless pain we bear, all because we do not carry everything to God in prayer. So, that's the truth. Spend personal time in prayer. Every good church member will not only pray at church, they will pray at home alone with God, talking to Him
daily.
Not just Sunday, not just Monday.
This is not a super Christian thing. This is just what you should do.
And the truth is, He is our friend. The Bible says He sticks closer to us than a brother. So just talk to Him. It ain't some special formula. Just talk to God.
Number 4. Ooh, I need to get my nails done. Number 4 is respect all people at your church. How many times have I told you?
Oh, yes.
We have had new people come in, or we've been visiting churches where he's been invited to preach, and I'll say, hello, how are you? And people will be like, and walk on. Then they find out I'm his wife. And they, you're the preacher's wife? Oh, good to see you. How are you? You so pretty. Your makeup's so pretty. Back up. You were rude to me a minute ago, and now you want to butter me up just because I belong to him? That is rude.
That is rude.
That is rude. Be nice and respect all people.
James, on Wednesday nights at our church,
so we're
going through the book of James, and James even talks about respecting all people and how even in his day people would do that they would look at somebody, he called it with gay apparel or with these good looking clothes on, and they would say, you come and sit up front in the front row, and you
the honored place.
We know you, and you the talk of the town. You sit in the honored seat. We don't really know you, so you kind of sit back here.
Yeah, who cares if you don't know them? And we're all guilty of it. We're all guilty of being drawn to people we know or whatever. Love all people. Respect all people.
And if your church has fellowship time, some churches don't. Some churches don't do like turn around, shake somebody's hand. But if your church has fellowship time, don't go to your best friend.
Please talk to them afterwards when you go to
lunch. You can talk to them before, during fellowship time. Go to somebody you don't know, shake their hand, tell them good morning, tell them good evening,
glad to have you,
and say hello. Welcome them to the house of God, because they don't know anybody. They need a warm welcome. So every good church member welcomes and loves everyone who comes through the door.
Yes.
That's a good one.
Thank you.
Fist pound for you, and fist pound for you that's going to do that on Sunday.
Yes.
And that, my dear precious friend, leads us to number 5. Know and respect your church's DNA.
What?
What, she asked? You got to know what your church's DNA is and then respect your church's DNA. So, for example, some churches' DNA is missions. Some churches' DNA is singing. Some churches' DNA is discipleship. Some churches' DNA is... I'm trying to think of just one more.
Community outreach.
Community outreach. I mean, you can go into all these. So let's just use missions, for example. Some churches, their DNA is missions. I mean, they are all in for missions, local missions, international missions, North American missions. They're all in for missions.
Yes.
And what happens, you see a lot, is some pastors will come into the church, new pastors, and they'll try to change up that mission. They'll try to change up that DNA. They'll try to change the church from being missions oriented to maybe being more of a singing style church. Don't do that. Or you'll see new church members come into a church and the church will be more of a traditional style church and they'll want to change it to a more contemporary style church. Don't do that. Know what your church's DNA is, respect it, and love it. Now, if you know me, things have to change in a church. Churches are dying all across America, and changes have to be made. I am a proponent to change. And the church we were in, I was called to this church by the church. They asked me to come to be their pastor, to change, to move them into the future. And in almost 4 years, we have made tons of changes.
Yes.
And God has blessed those changes. I mean, we have seen the church just grow and people saved and tons of folks baptized, dozens and dozens and dozens of folks baptized. I'm not talking about changing the things that need to be changed. Some things need to be changed, but some things don't. And that's the DNA. What makes that church that church? Don't change that. When you do that, you change something that you don't need to be changing and you mess it up. Change the things that need change.
Yes.
But what doesn't is what makes those people those people. Keep that thing, respect it, and just make it better.
Yes. Number 6, events. Very good, buddy. If your church is having an event, our church does Faith, Family, and Fireworks. Big thing for the 4th of July. If they have, what's another event we do here at the church?
Trunk or treat.
Trunk or treat. Any event your church is having,
Easter egg hunt.
participate. Please show up. We have got so many people that don't come to Easter egg hunts because they're like, I don't have any children. I don't need to come. I don't have any grandchildren. Walk around, have a smile on your face, and talk to the people who are there from your community. Love on them, because like us, when our girls were little, we're running around like crazy. We don't have time really to visit with the community because we're like trying to make sure our kids aren't in the road or choking on a
piece of
sucker.
candy.
Yeah. So please participate in all events. It is very encouraging to look around. And this year we had a great amount of people. No kids that just showed up to help. Anything. So show up to your church's event.
Yes, just be there to help.
Yes.
Put a smile on your face. Share a smile.
It's getting weird. Number 7.
Number 7.
The number of completeness. But we got a bonus, so don't worry about it. We ain't done.
Number 7.
He's grooving.
Have you commented yet below and told us some of the things that you think a good church member? If not, how dare you? Go ahead and be commenting below. But here's our number 7 spot. Attend Sunday school. Sunday school, small groups, discipleship groups, whatever you call it at your church, attend small groups. Here's what I think as a pastor, why I think Sunday school is a good thing and a great thing for good church members to attend. Sunday school is almost like a small church, okay?
Yes.
So in the service, let's say, here we got singing, we got preaching going on. There's only so much as a preacher I can give somebody in a 20 to 30 minute sermon, okay? But in that 40 to 45 minute class, there's a whole lot more that Sunday school teacher can dive into than I can in the pulpit. Because in the pulpit, I have to realize that I'm speaking to people who maybe, it's according if parents some parents don't send their kids to children's church, and that's fine. So I have to realize sometimes I'm preaching to 5, 6, and 7-year-olds all the way up to 80 and 90-year-olds. And I've got to make sure that my sermons are on the levels of everyone that I'm preaching to. But in Sunday school, that teacher, whatever class you're in, can put it on the level of whatever the age is of the people they're teaching to. And so it is important that you attend Sunday school for that matter, so that you can learn more. And plus just the community of being able to talk and listen and get feedback and share your cares and your burdens and your prayer requests and things like that. Sunday school is just like a small church within the church. And any good church member will get up an hour early, and get to church for Sunday school.
Yes.
And here's what I've heard over the years. I've been preaching for almost 20 years now. Been pastoring almost all that time, not the whole time, but close to it. And here's what you hear a lot from people. Well, there's just not a Sunday school that I click with. And I find
and all your friends are not in there.
Yeah, and I find that, or there's not a teacher that's really on my level. And what I kind of want to say to that is, well, if you're up here to everybody, then we need you teaching the class.
Please.
Like if you're that much more educated, then you need to be volunteering teaching, folks. If you're a theologian, get your hind end off the couch and get to church early and start teaching a class.
Breathe.
Number
Breathe.
7.
Breathe.
Every good church member goes to Sunday school.
All right, guys. Number 8. Ocho. Are you impressed with my Spanish?
I am very impressed, and she's never mind.
Talented.
Number 8.
So, number 8. Pray for your leaders. If you don't like what's going on around your church place, pray for those who are in charge. Don't go bad mouthing them. Don't go chewing them out. Pray for them. They're humans just like you. I guarantee you mess up all the time. So are your leaders. They're going to. Pray for them. Pray for your pastor. We have a fantastic pastor at our church, and we have a fantastic associate pastor of preaching. He is magnificent. Pray for these guys. They're in total different stages of life. Lee is almost 34. Matthew is 23, 24. So pray for the specific needs you know they have. And if you don't know, ask them. Please ask them. One of our deacons came up to me on Sunday and said, "How's our preacher doing?" And I appreciate that. As his wife, I appreciate that. And if I know of a need that Lee has, I'll go to my deacons' wives and tell them. I want you guys to pray for all your leaders. Pray for your Sunday school teachers. Everybody that has a leadership role, pray for them.
And whatever church you attend, let's say you attend a large church, as in, and when we consider large, we consider that 200 or more. But let's say you consider your church large as in 500 or more, or 1,000 or more. And you say, well, I don't even have access to my pastor. I don't have access to even talking to my pastor on a regular basis. I don't even, say hello to him on a monthly basis. Then contact the office. Contact someone who would have contact with him. And then just let him know, maybe you're out there and your name is Steve, or maybe you're out there and your name is Charlotte. I don't know what your name is, but you're out there, and contact the office and just leave a note and have them pass that note to your pastor and just let them know that Charlotte is praying for the pastor. Those simple notes, so-and-so is praying for you, means more to a preacher than anything.
Yes.
So you're out there, you need to pray for your leaders, just leave a note. That means more than anything.
Yes, certainly does.
Thanks for watching today.
Yes, hope you guys enjoyed it. Please leave us a comment of what you think a good church member should do. What you think. So let us know, because we ain't got all the answers. This is just our opinion, okay? Don't be haters, back up. Don't be coming at us.
Yep.
So
Go
just
ahead
our
and thumbs
opinion.
up. Go ahead and share this video on your Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever you got. Now, Instagram's a little different. You just kind of got you can't really attach a YouTube video. It's weird, but so forget the Instagram thing. You can do Twitter, you can do Facebook. Share it, comment, like it. We'll see you next time, guys.
Bye.
Bye.